So we are kicking off the optimal assimilation course. You can see that we are in a high wire, long English cucumber crop. And the first question is, what is assimilates? Assimilates, of course, the end product of photosynthesis, it's sugars. And how can we maximize the main goal, in my opinion, so maximize the photosynthesis, is by converting all the light into assimilates. How can we do that from a climate perspective? Is to maintain the 4 parameters into balance. Light, driving force of photosynthesis, temperature, which plays a pivotal role on photosynthesis, we shouldn't forget about this. Humidity, indirectly, because humidity adjusts, affects the stomatal conductivity, the stomata opening. And why do we need the stomata to be open? To consume the CO2. So convert light into assimilates. How do we know that the conversion of assimilates is enough? The plant is always talking to us and we always need to listen to the plant. For example, in tomatoes, we are always referring to the crop parameters and more specifically to the head thickness. If the head thickness is getting stronger, it's getting thicker, it means that more sugars flow into the crop, while less to the fruits, and vice versa. But now we are in a cucumber crop, and how can we see that as well? Several parameters play a role, such as, for example, the amount of leaves that they are being produced every week. That can tell us something about the balance between assimilate production and distribution. But another thing is exactly this. And what do we see here? We see some yellowing spots. And this is not a disease, this is not a deficiency of an element. This is actually assimilates that we didn't burn, we didn't consume. So when we see that, the plant is telling us that I'm converting a lot of light into assimilates, but now you need to push me, for example, with 24-hour average greenhouse temperature and hence RTR, or to increase the amount of fruits on the plant, so different pruning strategy, in order to maintain everything in balance. The last tip that we can also give before we go into the studio is that, of course, one factor is to increase RTR, increase temperature. But in some cases, especially summer, that can be too much. It can be too high. That's why, in this case, for example, which we are in a greenhouse with artificial light, maybe we shouldn't go with higher 24-hour average greenhouse temperature, but maybe we should have decreased the amount of artificial light and save some energy and then costs.